how's it going? Yeah. Yeah, good. Sorry, hope I didn't keep you waiting too long, just making some calls. Went and got some paperwork here, but, thank you. Thank you so much for considering, our agency as you get into this next level of your career. Before we can talk about, I've been in contact. I found a few teams I think that might be a good fit for you and what you're looking for, but legally, before I can mention any of that stuff to you, we just have to go over the contract here. Just really simple, basic stuff. Just you agreeing to work with our agency, going over the terms and conditions and stuff like that. So, let's get that squared away real quick, and then we'll get into the teams. All right. So, pretty simple stuff here. Turn around for you to see. Just the standard player agent contract, right? I'll fill in the date here. Agreement made this today is the 27th. 27th day of, and today is September, so we'll put September 2023 by, you're going to have to sign your name here, but between me, Daft, operating for relaxing sports agency there, and you're old enough, you don't need a guardian, but as you can see, 27th day of September 2023, you'll write your name here. I can't do that for you. There's me, no guardian required. Just some basic terms here about the contract, general principles. This agreement is entered into pursuant to and in accordance with the National Hockey League Players Association, the NHLPA regulations covering agent certification, also called the regulations, which may be amended from time to time. The agent, or the guarantor hereto, the agent is a business entity. I am the agent, represents that he has read and familiarized himself with the regulations and has applied for and received certification from the NHLPA. So, that's all there. I know there's a lot of this stuff. Next page, just, gotta make sure it's all by the books. Okay. Represents the acts as a fiduciary on behalf of the player performing services pursuant to this agreement. Basically, I will represent your best financial interests. The services expected of me. The agent is hereby retained by the player to represent, advise, counsel, and assist the player, which is what I am doing today, helping you find a suitable team in conducting individual compensation negotiations for the player's services with the player's NHL club, and in maintaining and enforcing the player's rights following execution of a contract with the player's NHL club. Basically, I work for you. I do not work for the NHL or for the team that you get contracted with. In performing these services, the agent agrees to perform in such a manner so as to ensure the effective representation of the player and to at all times protect the best interests of the player. The agent further agrees to comply fully with the regulations
is understood and agreed that the agent shall not have the authority to bind or commit the player in any manner without prior written consent of the player. In no event shall the agent execute a player contract for or on behalf of the player. So, I can find these teams for you today. I can tell you what I feel is in your best interest, but if you choose to go another route, if you don't like what I'm offering you, I can't enter you into any contracts without your permission. This just goes over the fees. The player agrees, subject to the terms and conditions set forth herein, to pay the agent for services performed. The fees set forth in Schedule A, attached here to the manner at the times referred to therein. For our agency, as you already know, we discussed this up front. We charge 7.5% agent fees for the total value of the contract. Similarly, if an hourly rate has been agreed upon, the dollar rate per hour must be stated, and the agent shall document his services and the time spent therein. We don't charge hourly service rates here. Alright, we're going to skip over the rest of the agent fees section. We're going to come down here to expenses. Except as set forth in Schedule A, all expenses incurred by the agent in the performance of this agreement shall be solely the agent's responsibility and shall not be reimbursable by the player. So, you are not responsible for me spending money, on your behalf. I can't charge you for anything I do in my role as agent. Advisors, irrespective of the provisions of subparagraph A above, the agent and player have set forth on Schedule A hereto the names and addresses of all outside advisors, financial or tax consultants, lawyers, and other parties who shall perform services in connection with the agent's obligation under this agreement, along with the player's obligations, if any. Next page. Charges or expenses in connection with said services. So you haven't told me about any outside advisors. If you would like to add any, let me know. I'm totally open. Tax consultants, lawyers, things like that, if you feel you need them. The term of this agreement shall begin on the date hereof. So as soon as you sign this paperwork, we are in our term, and shall continue in effect only until the expiration date of the player contract executed pursuant to this agreement, provided however that this agreement shall immediately terminate, either upon delivery of written notice of termination by one party to the other, upon a guarantor, if any, ceasing to be employed or retained by, or ceasing to otherwise be affiliated with the agent, or if an agent or guarantor hereto the agent is a business entity, has his certification suspended or revoked by the NHLPA, or if he is otherwise prohibited by the NHLPA from performing the services agreed upon herein. So, you're with us until the end of this current contract. If you'd like us to figure out your next contract, once that one has expired, you can return to our office, and we can work on another one. This just goes over some dispute resolution things. If there's any conflict between you and I, there's a few different avenues. You can go directly to the NHL Players Association. Now, this is just basically, we're going to have you put your P.O. box, or however you'd want us to reach you here, and this is going to be any official notices we have to send. We'll have our secretary put our mailing address, P.O. box here, after we file the paperwork. Okay, now the last little important bits. The entire agreement. This agreement sets sets forth the entire agreement between the parties, supersedes any and all prior agreements, oral and written, and there are no undisclosed agreements or understandings of any kind. This agreement cannot be amended or changed orally, and any written addenda, amendments, or changes shall be effective only to the extent that they are consistent with the terms of this agreement and regulations. This agreement shall be construed, interpreted, and enforced according to the laws of the province of Ontario. This contract should be signed in triplicate. One original copy must be promptly delivered by prepaid certified mail by the agent of the HLPA within 48 hours of the execution. One original copy must be promptly delivered by agent of the player, and one original copy should be retained by the agent. This contract may not be assigned without the express written consent of all parties, which consent may not be unreasonably withheld. So, you signed this. I'll have 2 copies made up. This one's getting sent to the VA. I'll have one ready for you when you leave today, and then I'll keep one here. So you just go ahead and sign that. Okay, very good. Alright. So we'll send that off for copying and mailing off. Now we can get into the real, what we're really here for now. Okay, so last season you were down in the AHL. You played a good bit of center and a little bit of right wing, which is helpful because there's some teams here. There's 3 teams in particular that have given some verbal interest in you. They've expressed that they think you could help them with their team. So I'm going to present 3 options to you today. One of them I think is a better option than the rest, but it depends here. I'm gonna defer to you. But if you're looking for more money or more of a chance to win here, right? So let's start off with the first team that I think could really use your services. We have the Detroit Red Wings. Now, the Detroit Red Wings have $5.15 million in cap space. As you can see here, laid out here, they have $5.15 million. Now, here's their forward depth. I looked up, I broke it up by lines. So this is basically, I think you have a good chance to be able to slot in down here somewhere. JT Comfer, he's currently their 3C. He's 28 years old, but he's on quite a bit of money, and he's not up till 2028, so it might be hard to push for that spot, but I think you could maybe try and push for Ericsson's job there. Ericsson's job right there on the 3rd right wing, or I think you could even slot in here at 4C. Right there. Now, 5.15 million is the issue here for me because, as you can see, they have a few RFAs coming up that I have taken note of. Lucas Raymond, right now, he's on less than $1 million. He's coming up RFA 2024. He is going to warrant a very big contract from them. Michael Rasmussen, I don't know how much he's going to get, but he will be asking for something. He's up in 2024 as well, and the other problem is you have Moritz Seider, who's going to be a restricted free agent in 2024 as well. So you have three young guys who are all going to be coming up and asking for money all at the same year. And they've only got $5.15 million this year, and this is a rebuilding team. So like I said, you might get in here, but this JT Comfort contract might be a bit of an albatross around their neck when it comes to being able to pay you. So I think the best we'll be able to get here in Detroit is probably a 1-year deal. And you're probably going to be getting bottom 6 minutes, unfortunately. So, it depends how you feel about Detroit, but me personally, I might stay away from this team, just based on playing time and the amount of money that's coming up here. The next team that I identified that showed some interest in you is the Columbus Blue Jackets. Again, I broke down their forward lines here. They have a little bit less money to play with here, $4.7 million. But what you'll notice is they have fewer restricted free agents coming to market here. This one actually, Kirill Merchenko, this might be the issue. I forgot to note him. Let me fix that here. But your big Alexander Texier, he's going to be your big money guy this coming offseason. Alexander Texier, he's the only one of these guys I think is really going to be getting a sizable contract. And now they do have Adam Van Tilly, they just drafted him. He's going to be their 3C. So you're most likely going to be stuck in one of these 3 spots here in the bottom 6. You could be a third-line right winger playing next to Adam Van Tilly, which could be really exciting for you. Being down the AHL, coming up, playing on a really exciting young prospects line. And realistically, before the end of the season, he could get moved up here, and you might be playing with Boone Jenner, on that third line, if that's where he get placed. I think you could probably push here for Sean Corrali's job as well. He's that bottom line center. He is 30, he's getting up there a little bit, so I think you could do that, or you could at least play on his wing, because right now they have Vornikov playing out of position, and he's 23-year-old left winger playing on the right, but he's a guy you could potentially challenge there for minutes. So they have less total dollars in cap space than the Red Wings do, but they're going to be giving out fewer large contracts this offseason, so you might be able to get a bigger piece of this pie. And finally, I think that if you're looking purely for the most money this season, Nashville, I would really encourage you to look at Nashville here. They have $7.9 million in cap space available right now. The only big RFA they have coming up is Cody Glass. Now, Cody Glass had a really big season last year, but he still has one more year. He goes to RFA in 2025. He's on a bit of a bridge deal right now. I would expect him to get a maximum of maybe $4 million on that contract. So they still are looking at, $5.5 million or so. And then they have Alexander Carrier, who's a UFA. They're gonna have to pay him. But I really think, looking at this roster, just being realistic, you could push for that 3 seed there. I think you could push for that there, or even there if they moved. If they moved Tomasino to the left wing, and then Sherwood, you basically pop him out of the lineup. I I think that you can still get really good bottom 6 minutes in this team here. And I think you could get more money. So let me know what you think about those options. Yep. Okay. Power play. Nashville power play. Well, you know, Glass is a good power play guy, so power play 2, maybe. These are Will Forsberg, O'Reilly. I think power play 2 would be a push. I don't know if you'll get in there with Nashville. I know, yeah, you operated. You put up a lot of power play points last season in the AHL. I saw that. Unfortunately, let's see. Looking at Columbus, Gaudreau, Line, you might be able to make the power play 2 in Columbus. Actually, looking at that, I don't think Nashville you would be able to. I think Detroit might be a difficult one as well. They don't have a lot of top-notch offensive talent, but Larkin, Brinkett, Raymond. I think, yeah, you would actually. I think in Detroit you could be on the second unit there. I think Nashville you would struggle to find power play minutes. But I think that Nashville could offer you the most money, and I think they could offer you the most years as well. Like I said, Detroit would just, I think, be a 2-year or even a 1-year deal. If you'd like, I could call up Detroit. Yeah, you want me? Okay. Yeah, you seemed interested with that. And also bear in mind that it's a rebuilding team, right? So, alright, well, let's call them up. Yes. This is Daft. Yeah, with Relaxing Sports Agency. Yes. Well, we were just trying to get a read. We have a client here. Yeah, the one that you were telling me about last week. Yeah, I know you had some interest. But we're kind of looking here. We're looking at your contract situation, and we know you have some RFAs coming up. Cider, you got Raymond, you got Rasmussen down there as well. You know, that's 3 RFAs for you guys. So what kind of term could we be looking at here? Because I'm assuming, yeah, because then that would leave you with, I mean, not very much here. I mean, so if we could go, okay, so this year we could do 175 for 1. Hold on, I'm gonna write this down. 175 for 1. Okay. Would you be willing to do a 3-year deal at 776K? Okay. Alright, I'll let him know. Alright, so I'm sure you heard that. Detroit said what they'd be willing to offer. They could give you a 1-year deal at $1.75 million, or they could give you a 3-year deal at $776,000 per year. Yeah, I figured that's probably not what you're looking at there. think you don't want to go to Columbus. Well, I know that they just had that situation. Yeah. Well, I know the front offices might be a little bit, yeah, to be honest, we're not too sure what's really going on with that front office in Columbus. There's a lot of question marks. I think playing with Van Dilly could be exciting, but to be honest with you, Gaudreau, Line I don't know, and I'm not sure how long you'd want to stick around there. Okay. Well, if you want, I could call up Nashville. Okay, let me give them a ring. Yes, hello. This is Daft with Relaxing Sports Agency. Yeah, we have a client. Yeah, the one that I was putting some feelers out for last week. You seemed to respond positively back then, so I just wanted to reach out to you. We're just looking at your cap at the moment. We see you have, $7.9 million in cap there. We're only expecting bottom 6 minutes here. Now, obviously, that's up to you and the coach, or it's up to the coach and the client, or you. But we're not expecting top 6 here. AHL last season, but my client made a really good name for himself last season, one of the top players in the AHL. And we're looking at you have Glass coming up in 2 years. You got Texier coming up. I know he's probably going to eat a little bit of a chunk there, but, we have Detroit on the other line. Detroit has sent out a 3-year offer for my client. So, you guys seemed interested. I think that my client would be a great addition to your team. Well, like I said, we have this 3-year deal sitting on the table here from Detroit, and it's hard to beat that kind of stability. Yeah. Okay, so you could do 3 as well. You could do 3 as well. Okay, I mean, that's all we're asking for. Because at the end of 3 years, this guy thinks that he'll be worth more than what he's gonna be making today. So what can you give him over 3? Well, Detroit's top number was 1.75. Yeah, that Detroit's top offer, their top dollar number was 1.75 million. Yeah. So you think you could do 2 over 3? Alright, well, I'll let him know, then I'll get back to you, okay? Alright, bye-bye. No, it's not lying. They did offer you a 3-year contract, and they did offer you $1.75 million. That's how these things work. So... Nashville is ready to offer you $2 million a year for the next 3 years. So total $6 million contract here. You'd be getting paid slightly less than Sissons, slightly more than Trennan, but you'd be their top paid bottom 6 guy, making a little bit less than Glass. I think $2 million a year for 3 years, I think is a really good deal for you. And I think in Nashville you could really get some good playing time, and they're a team that's kind of on the up right now. So that does sound good to you. Alright, well, hey, pleasure doing business with you. I'm glad we could get you a contract sorted out here. I'm really happy for you, excited to see where you're going to go in the future. Like I said, we'll have a copy of that paperwork out there at the reception desk waiting for you. We'll send off a copy to the PA here at the end of the day, so you don't worry anything about that. But hey, it was really great. I'm really glad we could get you a contract here. I'm really excited to see what we're able to do during the season. Bye-bye.